The distributive law, the distributive law, the distributive law states that A times open in parenthesis B plus C close parenthesis equals A times B plus A times C, and that's the distributive law. The distributive law, the distributive law, the distributive law states that A times open in parenthesis B plus C close parenthesis equals A times B plus A times C, and that's the distributive law. Ero, eris, erit, eramus, eritus, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. Ero, eris, erit, eramus, eritus, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. An adjective modifies a noun or pronoun by describing, qualifying, or limiting, and answers the questions: what kind, how many, which, whose. What kind, how many, which, whose. An adjective. An adjective modifies a noun or pronoun by describing, qualifying, or limiting, and answers the questions: what kind, how many, which, whose. What kind, how many, which, whose. An adjective. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War.
Cycle 2, week 23, history. Tell me about the Gulf War. So it starts out with in 1990. So you're going to make a 9 symbol with your hand. It's your index and thumb together. In 1990, and you'll just go into a 0. So 9-0. President, here's your presidential hat. George H.W. Bush, B for Bush. And then your hand's going to go directly out. Sent troops to the Persian, a P, and then Gulf, you're going to come down like you're making like a little U for Gulf. To expel Iraqi, here's your I, and then you're going to go up. Leader, hand goes up. Saddam, you're going to make an S sign with your hand. Hussein from Kuwait, there's your K. During the Gulf, there's like kind of a U sign, and then war. All right, so let's start from the beginning. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War. Good luck.
How does heat flow? Radiation, conduction, convection. Radiation, conduction, convection. Radiation, conduction, convection.
This week in geography, we will be learning about Central Asia, otherwise known as the Stans. We're going to start out with Kazakhstan, which is the largest country in the Stans, and it's between Asia and Europe. Then Uzbekistan, which is right below it with a little lake, and then Turkmenistan, which is directly below that, and then Tajikistan, which is to the east, smaller country, and right above it is Kyrgyzstan. So now I ask and you point, where is Kyrgyzstan? Where is Tajikistan? Where is Turkmenistan? Where is Uzbekistan? And where is Kazakhstan? And now I point and you tell me.
I left my geography book in the room and now I'm locked in. Can you help me?
Napoleon, crowned Emperor of France. Liberation of South America. The War of 1812, the Missouri Compromise. Immigrants flock to America. The Monroe Doctrine, romantic period of the arts. Cherokee Trail of Tears. U.S. westward expansion. Marx publishes the Communist Manifesto. The Compromise of 1850 and the Dred Scott Decision. U.S. restores trade with Japan. British Queen Victoria's rule over India. Darwin publishes The Origin of Species. Lincoln's War between the states. Reconstruction of the southern states. Dominion of Canada. Otto von Bismarck unifies Germany. Boer Wars in Africa. The Spanish-American War. The Progressive Era. Australia becomes a Commonwealth. Mexican Revolution. World War I and President Wilson. Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. U.S. evangelist Billy Graham. Modern period of the arts. The Great Depression and the New Deal. World War II and President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Stalin of the USSR and the Katyn Massacre. United Nations formed, the Cold War, Gandhi and India's independence. Jewish state established, Mao and communist victory in China. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the Korean War, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Civil Rights Movement. Jim and Elizabeth Elliot, missionaries to Ecuador, the Antarctic Treaty, the Vietnam War. U.S. astronauts walk on the moon. Yes. Timeline, timeline. This is my timeline. Age of information and globalization. Circa 1970 to the present. Watergate, President Nixon resigns. Fall of communism in Eastern Europe. European Union formed. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. 2000 AD, 2000 AD. September 11th, 2001. Rising tide of freedom. Rising tide of freedom.
This is CC Week 23 Timeline. It's all one song. It's Age of Information and Globalization. So for information, it's like you're typing information, and then globalization, you're just gonna make a globe. It starts with Watergate. So for Watergate, you're gonna have your hand up like it's a building, and then your two fingers are like eyes, and they're gonna peek around because it was secret discovery, Watergate. So Watergate and President Nixon, here's your N sign, resigns. The fall of communism and Eastern Europe. So here's your E, goes by your ear, Eastern Europe. Then it's the European Union formed. And then it's apartheid. This is apartheid. Then abolished in South Africa. I guess you could sign South Africa if you wanted to, but it's up to you, South Africa. 2000 AD. So here's your 2000 AD. That goes twice. And then it's September 11th, 2001. So one hand, two hand, and then they fall, like the building's falling. And then 2 also looks like 11. September 11th, 2001, and then Rising Tide of Freedom. So you're gonna show freedom rising. So rising tide of freedom. So let's go from the beginning one more time. Age of information and globalization, Watergate and President Nixon resigns. The fall of communism in Eastern Europe, European Union formed, apartheid abolished in South Africa, 2000 AD, September 11th, 2001, Rising Tide of Freedom. And at the very end, it says, I am part of a timeline, and to show I am part of this timeline. All right, good luck.
This week at CC, we will be building an egg protector. So depending on what you have in your community, you might have craft sticks, rubber bands, napkins, plastic egg for practice. Maybe you have toilet paper rolls still, straws. Maybe you have some plastic bags or some pipe cleaners. So you're going to use all these things to build an egg protector, and it could be different per student. And the goal is, can you protect the egg if it's suspended from a high place? Now for our community, because we obviously don't want to soil it, we're going to use water balloons.
Well, I guess this is it. Thanks for watching all my videos. I hope you liked them, and I hope you learned something. And I hope you study, 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 and try really hard every day to learn more and more. And memorize and smell things. All right, that's it. See you later. Peace out.